Today's an interesting one, asking, do you think we could see James Cameron actually doing a Marvel film? Check it out.
Hey, John. Duke Silver calling in again from Pawnee, Indiana, and I'm calling in with a theoretical question today. Disney just produced Avatar 2 for James Cameron, and it's going really, really well. It's making Disney a bunch of money, and James Cameron seemed like he was pretty much able to do whatever the hell he wanted. With the success of this, do you think, A, Disney might go to James Cameron and say, hey, what would you think of directing one of our genre films like Star Wars or Marvel? And B, do you think there... Hey, John. Duke Silver calling in again from Pawnee, Indiana, and I'm calling in with a theoretical question today. Disney just produced Avatar 2 for James Cameron, and it's going really, really well. It's making Disney a bunch of money, and James Cameron seemed like he was pretty much able to do whatever the hell he wanted. With the success of this, do you think, A, Disney might go to James Cameron and say, hey, what would you think of directing one of our genre films like Star Wars or Marvel? And B, do you think there is any chance that James Cameron would ever consider coming on to direct or maybe even just produce a Star Wars or a Marvel film? Love to hear your guys' thoughts. Have a good day.
All right. Thanks so much for sending that in twice. And look, here's an interesting quandary. James Gunn has a movie in theaters.
Cameron.
I keep doing that.
Too many James. Baby.
James Gunn has a movie in theaters. James Cameron has a movie in theaters that's bumping up on 1.5 billion already. Could get to the $2 billion mark. Something
Get off my lawn.
I didn't think that it would do, and maybe it still won't. But I mean, it's making tons of cash. And you're Disney, and you're sitting there going, you know, it seems that the adage is true. Never doubt James Cameron. He makes a movie, becomes a huge, incredible smash hit. We know we got some franchises that could always use some of that, especially one in a galaxy far, far away. Maybe Disney is thinking, how do we tap into a little Jimmy C magic to maybe get in with our Star Wars franchise or our Marvel franchise? All right, so there's two questions in there. Number one that you asked, what is the likelihood that Disney would approach James Cameron about, say, doing a Marvel film? Well, you got to remember, Disney doesn't approach directors. The heads of the individual studios do. And I think the possibility of Kevin Feige, who is the head of Marvel, approaching James Cameron to direct a film after some of the comments that James Cameron has made, I think are pretty nil. I don't see Kevin Feige approaching James Cameron to do it. Now, okay, in a world, I mean, if Bob Iger, who does not do this, Bob Iger respects the autonomy of his lieutenants. But if Bob Iger were to go up and tell Kevin Feige, I want James Cameron directing a Marvel film, well, Feige will probably do it. But I don't see that happening either. Star Wars, a little different. I could see whoever, because we all know Kathleen Kennedy is not going to be in that position much longer. So whoever the next person coming in is, what a huge feather in the cap of whoever the next head of Lucasfilm would be, to come in and say, one of the first things that I did was I nabbed James Cameron to be a director of one of our upcoming films. That would be a huge, huge feat. That would like plant there and set their identity that this is now the era of me, whoever me is running Lucasfilm. This is now my era. And so that would be huge. So I could see that as a bigger possibility. However, we move on to the second part of that question that you asked is, B, would James Cameron ever consider doing it? And the answer to that is a resounding no. James Cameron will never do it. He'll never do it for two reasons. One, he's got 17 Avatar movies that he's trying to do, apparently all at once. Once his Avatar films are done, he knows he's only got a couple of films left before he probably retires. Does he want to go and do franchise? Somebody else's franchise? Does he want to then jump and go and do playing somebody else's playground? Which a lot of great directors do, but it doesn't seem like something James Cameron would do. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say, when you put those two things together, I'm not going to say zero, but it is an extremely thin chance that we would ever see something like that. So I'm going to guess no. Rob, what do you think?
I think no as well. I mean, Fox, 20th Century and Disney they're worried that he's not going to make his Christmas 2024 release date for Avatar 3 because of what's involved and how many shots. I mean, when you're making a movie that's all special effects shots, and there's only they can only go so fast to make these things. So, and then he's already shot some of Avatar 4, and I'm sure after this success, he's going to do Avatar 5. I don't know if they're going to do 6 or whatever, but I think he's, for the next decade, he's pretty solid taken up. I think whatever he's going to do after Avatar, I could see him downshifting into doing something. It's going to be something he creates. I don't think he'll ever. I mean, look, I think he grew up loving Star Wars, but when he went into filmmaking, he did visual effects. He started out doing visual effects for like Carpenter's Escape from New York and Battle Beyond the Stars. And I think he kind of got those yayas out back then. And then he's sort of created all of these new things. And I think one of the things that appeals to James Cameron is even since The Abyss, he's been doing all the research and development for the industry. At ILM, when they did the pseudopod in The Abyss, that led to the T-1000, which led to the technology that enabled ILM to create photorealistic dinosaurs. And as Cameron has moved through his career, he has, and Avatar's, the technology in Avatar is going to be used by the industry for decades to come. And I think he's not interested in going back and doing a franchise film for somebody else. I can't see that.
Chris, what do you think? Any chances we could see James Cameron either do a Marvel film, a Star Wars film? I don't know. What do you think?
No, his dance card is so full. How is he going to make time for that? At best, what I see him doing is kind of like what Joss Whedon did after Avengers, is doing something in his own backyard, basically, like what he did with Much Ado About Nothing.
Yeah,
right.
Something that has little to no special effects, something that's a passion project, which I don't know if that's even something that is on James Cameron's radar, doing something super, super low budget, indie vibe, something more of that nature that's just people having conversations in rooms. He is up to his neck in special effects details.
That's the look he's going to give them when they ask.
Yeah.
James, you want to do a Marvel movie? And he's just that for 20 minutes.
Yeah, with all my free time? No, he doesn't have the bandwidth to do this.
All right, guys. Question is for you. What do you think about this? James Cameron's making Disney a whole bunch of money right now. Could you see Disney wanting to leverage him in some of their other properties? Do you see James Cameron actually having an interest in doing that? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. This holiday season, the best deal in wireless can only be found at Mint Mobile. Right now, when you switch to Mint Mobile and buy any 3-month plan, you get another 3 months for free. Mint Mobile lets you order and activate from home with eSIM, while saving tons on phone plans starting at just $15 a month. You guys know I've been using Mint Mobile long before this holiday deal, and I have to say it is the perfect time to switch. I have absolutely loved using Mint Mobile, and like I've told you guys many times, I am now spending less than 1/3 of what I used to spend under one of the other major mobile carriers. And now with the whole buy 3 months, get 3 months free deal, it's even better. All of their plans come with unlimited talk and text, plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and switch easily and effortlessly with eSIM. Or if you need a new device, for a limited time, get 6 months of free service when you buy a select device and plan. So guys, for a limited time, buy any 3-month Mint Mobile plan and get 3 more months for free by going to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea.